I'm sure I speak for most when I say we've all been tempted to buy a store credit card before. Oftentimes we're just scrolling on Amazon, adding some basic necessities to our card before trying to check out, and being greeted by the enticing banner. A $50 Amazon gift card and 5% back for 6 months? That's a pretty good deal, might as well apply. Stop. Don't do that. Or at least wait till the end of the video, because there's a lot more than just meets the eye with many of these store credit cards. My name is Alian and welcome back to the CreditVerse channel. On this channel we talk about all things credit cards and personal finance, and today we're going to be diving deep on store credit cards. We're going to talk about what they are, who they're for, and what some of our favorites are. Before we get into the details, let's talk about what store credit cards actually are. Store credit cards are credit cards that are co-branded by a particular retail store's loyalty program or earn rewards that can be redeemed for merchandise at some stores. Now, breaking this down a little bit further, there are two main types: closed loop and open loop cards. Closed loop cards can only be used at a specific retailer or family of retailers, and they're becoming less and less popular over time. There's still a handful left in Canada, like the Brick Flexity card and the Home Depot Consumer Credit Card. On the other hand, open loop cards can be used anywhere where credit cards are accepted, and they're mainly what we're going to be focusing on in this video. Now, are they any good? As with anything, there are pros and cons. There are some perks that you see on store credit cards that you won't really see anywhere else. Frequently, store-branded credit cards offer enticing incentives for new cardholders. These can be either a welcome bonus or a period with elevated rewards on your everyday spend. Now, this can be particularly enticing when, for example, you can save $500 by getting a 25% discount on the purchase of a new TV. Furthermore, store credit cards often have the highest earn rates at that particular store. Take, for example, the new Tim's Mastercard, which offers 15x or about 6.5% on any spend at Tim Hortons. You won't see any card that gets anywhere near that, especially for no annual fee. Another advantage of store credit cards is that they generally don't carry an annual fee. Now, this can be particularly helpful because you earn rewards on your first dollar of spend without having to make up the annual fee and then reaping the benefits later. Now onto some of the cons. The main con here is the lack of versatility with your rewards. You're pretty much boxed into using at that specific retailer or family of stores. Now, this isn't a huge problem if you frequent that retailer a lot, specifically for like necessities, but if you're gonna go at like Hudson's Bay, for example, it's slightly less optimal as you're gonna be forced to redeem it for rewards like perfume or some other clothes, which isn't really a necessity and again, isn't super optimal. On the flip side of the sky-high earn rates you have at that specific retailer, you're most often going to see lower than average earn rates on the rest of your spend. Now, this isn't always the case, as some of the cards we've chosen are pretty solid across the board, but it's something you definitely need to see before you apply for a card. So who are these cards really for? Well, if you spend a lot at a specific retailer or a family of retailers, and you do a lot of your regular shopping there, for example at a grocery store, then a store credit card from that grocery store may actually be worth it for you. Going back to our Tim's card example, if you get a coffee from Tim's every morning and don't mind redeeming your rewards for more Tim's coffee, then that card may actually be a good fit for you, because it has no annual fee and earns 6.5% back at Tim Hortons. If you're looking for travel rewards or cashback, store credit cards won't get you too far. There's also a couple of edge cases where a store credit card may be worth it for you. We alluded to this a little previously, but sometimes they offer a huge discount on the first purchase. If a card is offering a steep discount, such as on a large purchase like a TV, you might just take advantage of that, save a couple of $100s, and then product switch the card to something else offered by the same financial institution. Now, you have to be really careful here as all the product switch rules are a little bit different, so you have to see what it is for that specific product. And again, you have to make sure that you're really going to purchase this at the full list price. Otherwise, you're just going to buy a bunch of stuff you don't actually need and get 25% off, but you're still going to spend more than you would otherwise. The fact that they offer no annual fee may also be something that's really appealing to some people. Now, there are definitely some cards that have an annual fee but are really easy to make that up, but if you're just starting out or you don't really spend a lot every single month, you might just want to get some of these cards and consolidate your spend to one loyalty program. In summary, they're really just targeted towards those who spend a lot at that specific retailer or really like shopping there, for example at Costco or PC stores. We're going to talk about some of these cards just in a bit. Even though the number of store branded cards is dropping a lot over time, there's still a couple of interesting ones that we picked out for this video. We chose cards that are not only good for that specific retailer, but are actually pretty strong across the board. But before we get into that section of the video, if you're enjoying it so far, please be sure to give it a like, and if you want to see more content like this, definitely subscribe, because we have a lot more coming for the rest of the summer. Let's kick things off with the Amazon Rewards Mastercard. It's pretty easy to see why this is one of the most popular store branded cards in Canada. Every single time, without fail, when you're shopping on Amazon, you get bombarded with ads saying this card is so good, you can get it $50 off, and it's going to change your life, and it's the best for everyday spend, whatever the case is. Let's dive into what it actually has. As stated on the banner, this card offers a $50 gift card upon approval, as well as 5% back at Amazon.ca, grocery stores, and restaurants for the first 6 months on the first $3,000 of spend. Now, this comes to a total bonus value of $200, and that's actually the highest we've seen for any store credit card. If you're a Prime member, which you probably should be if you're getting this card. You also get 2.5% back on foreign currency transactions, as well as 1% back anywhere else. If you're not a Prime member, you get 1.5% back on anything you spend on Amazon, as well as Whole Foods, and 1% back on everything else. Something to know here is that you don't earn true cash back, and instead you earn rewards that can be redeemed for Amazon gift cards at $20 increments. Now this does increase the lock-in effect quite a bit, but if you're someone who regularly shops at Amazon, it may not be the biggest deal to you. The card doesn't offer much in the way of additional benefits or perks. You get purchase assurance and extended warranty like you do on pretty much every single other credit card, and you do get a discount on some car rentals if you do it with Budget or Avis and use the MBNA promo code upon booking. Overall, this is one of the few store credit cards that we'd actually recommend getting, as it has decent earn rates, no foreign transaction fees, and no annual fee attached, even if you are subject to some additional consumerism in order to redeem your rewards. Next up is another favorite we see for Canadians, and it's a card that got a refresh in 2022. This, of course, is the CIBC Costco Mastercard. Before we get any further, you do need to be a Costco member to actually get this card, unlike the Prime card that just had more benefits for those who were already Prime members. For a Mastercard offers some of the more competitive earn rates we've seen, especially if you adjust for its annual fee. You get 3% back at Costco gas, which is the highest for any Mastercard, as well as 3% back at restaurants, which is again pretty strong, especially for a no annual fee Mastercard. You get 2% back if you fill up elsewhere, as well as 2% back on Costco.ca. We should mention here that the 3% and 2% you get at the gas categories is limited to the first $5,000 to spend, and the 2% you earn at Costco.ca is limited to the first $8,000 to spend. Now, this shouldn't really be much of a problem, as it gives you plenty of headroom, and it does get reset every January. For the rest of your spend, you get 1% back in rewards, including for purchases made at physical Costco locations. And to be completely honest here, I expected a little bit more from this card, specifically at Costco locations. I know it has no annual fee, but maybe a 1.25 or 1.5% back would have made this card a absolute no-brainer for anyone who shops at Costco, as it would have put it in contention with the Rogers World Mastercard, which has 1.5% back on all spend. Alas, that's not the case, but overall this card's earn rates are still pretty strong, specifically at 3% back at Costco gas. As with the Amazon card, you don't earn true cash back here. Instead, you get a Costco certificate in January the following year with all the earnings you got in the previous year. Now, this has the same implication as those with the Amazon card, as you're forced to spend all of your hard-earned earnings right again back at Costco. Considering there's a few things like gas and groceries at Costco that you can't really get at Amazon, this may be a little bit more useful, and you're probably going to get one Costco run out of it every single year. This card also technically has two different flavors, a regular MasterCard and a World MasterCard. They have the exact same earn rates, but the World MasterCard gets some additional perks, like Boingo Wi-Fi access, as well as a Dragon Pass membership, albeit with no free entries. Both cards give you mobile device insurance of up to $1,000, which is actually really good for a no annual fee MasterCard, and it's something that we're seeing more and more in Canada after a long time. Another little perk here is that this card doubles as this Costco membership card, which is actually pretty neat, considering if you don't want to carry a massive bifold around with all your membership cards, you can carry something a little bit more compact. Overall, this is another card we'd recommend getting, especially if you're a Costco enthusiast and you don't want to pay an annual fee. There are a couple of direct competitors to this card, like the Tangerine World MasterCard, where you earn 2% back at 3 categories of your choice, or the Rogers World MasterCard, which offers 1.5% back across the board. A potential dark horse candidate here would be the National Bank World MasterCard, which does come with an annual fee of $150, but has a $150 travel credit to offset that cost. It has higher earn rates on groceries and dining, as well as pretty strong 2x rewards on a lot of other categories, which may be better for your spend. Now, if you travel a lot, this may be the better card to get, as you have no annual fee effectively, and you're going to be able to use those rewards well. The last store credit card we're going to really talk about here is the family of PC Financial Mastercards, which are probably the most common store card in Canada. There's actually 3 different versions of this card, all with different perks and benefits, but all come with no annual fee attached. The entry-level MasterCard earns 30 points for every liter of gas purchased at an Esso or mobile station, 25 points for every dollar spent at Shoppers Drug Mart, as well as 10 points for every dollar spent anywhere else, including at PC branded stores. With points being worth 0.1 cents per point, 2.5% and 1% become the effective earn rates for Shoppers Drug Mart and everywhere else, with the 30 cents per liter depending on what the gas prices are at the time. There's really no other perks to getting this card other than the standard warranty and purchase insurance. Moving up a level, the World MasterCard gets some slightly elevated earn rates and some additional benefits. You get the same 30 points at Esso mobile stations, but now you get 35 points for everything spent at Shoppers Drug Mart, 25 points for any PC branded stores other than Shoppers Drug Mart, as well as 10 points for everything else. The only additional perk you really get here is the Mastercard Concierge service, which I have never actually used before, so I can't really speak to its usefulness. And this card does come with a minimum income requirement of $60,000 of personal income or $100,000 of household income. The highest tier of PC Financial cards comes in the form of the World Mastercard, This card actually has some pretty useful perks and benefits, unlike maybe the World Mastercard that we talked about earlier. Now, the card earns the same 30 points per liter at all gas purchased at Esso mobile stations, but it now earns 45 points for every dollar spent at shoppers, 30 points for anything spent at PC grocery stores, and 10 points for all others spent. This card also comes with travel medical emergency insurance, as well as car rental insurance, which is pretty nice for a no annual fee MasterCard. There is a minimum income requirement of $80,000 of personal income or $150,000 of household income, but that's something that's pretty standard across the World Elite MasterCard range. Optimum points can be redeemed for purchase at any PC store, with 1,000 points getting you $10 back on your purchase. Now again, there's that same lock-in effect that we talked about earlier, but you can probably make the argument that groceries are more essential than purchases made on Amazon. Overall, we'd probably suggest picking up the World or World Elite MasterCard variant and skipping out on the base tier version, just because we don't really see a point to get that card, as it doesn't have the best earn rates at even the PC branded stores. You're going to get 1% back with pretty much any no annual fee cashback card, which is a much better choice. Is there a store credit card that you loved that we missed? Be sure to let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a like. And if you want more content of this, be sure to subscribe so you never ever miss an upload. With that, take care.